We are live on Tits Tuesday. I'm Loren Molloy, and that is Jess Pallitto, and we are the Crazy Bee Talk Show. Because if you say bitch and type it in on Facebook, they get at you. So this is the Crazy Bitch Talk Show, where we really just have some random crazy fucking conversations. I smoke some weed. We have a drink or two.
Yes.
And we love having visitors.
Yes.
Leave comments. Yes, in the comment section. Please, guys, go to the Facebook page, Crazy Bee Talk Show. And please make sure you comment in that section under the live chat that we have going on right now, because otherwise I can't see your comments. And then I won't be able to put them live on the screen. Also, please, share this video, share it around so that everybody can join in. And I appreciate it if you would. I really, really do. It will also be on YouTube tomorrow, so you'll be able to check it out on my YouTube page, Loren Molloy YouTube. Yes, that's right. Don't mind me. I'm just sharing it around a little bit. How's everybody doing tonight on Tits Tuesday?
Woo! Yeah.
How you doing, Jess?
Oh, I'm fantastic. A little tired. This weekend was Harvest Fest up in Mount Vision, New York. Yeah. Loren came for her birthday on Sunday. She made it for the 420 circle, which is the Cannabis Cup final. And 21 strains of cannabis was rolled up and distributed to
everyone.
I mean, it was crazy.
And it's more than 21. It was 21 strands. She's absolutely right. But they rolled numerous amounts of each strand. So by the time we're all going around, each time that you got one, you had to say the name of it, Pink Star, and then pass it to the next person. One of the really cool things, I have to find my pocketbook, but yes, I did all 21 strains.
After 3, I was done. I was like, I can't smoke anymore. You guys are crazy. Even if you just took a little taste, it was like done. And it was really nice because Sunday was the last day, and it was closer to the nighttime. Everybody was kind of closing up after that, and some of the food vendors just whatever they had left in their fridge, they just like fried it up, put it in big buckets, and let everybody have it for free. So it was pretty cool.
It was hilarious watching people eating. What are you eating? I don't know. It's good, man.
I know. It was like a mixture of veggies and eggs and potatoes.
Before we go any further, I wanted to let everybody know, please, we were totally safe. Now I'm going to show you guys something. One of the things they did was brilliant. It's by Weed Gets. I'm going to show you the packaging, see if that shows up. See that little thing in there? I'm going to take it out in a second. Now, this is brilliant on their part, so that nobody was sharing saliva in any way, because you got to remember they rolled joints, right? So they had to figure out how to keep all of us safe while still allowing 100, 200 people to try it. Now, this is what it is. Weed Gets created this really cool little thing. If you can see, there's even like a little filter on either side. And you breathe in one side, the joint goes in the other so that it's filtered. You didn't get any yucky in your mouth, Scooby snacks. And you don't get any coronavirus in your mouth either. Right. So I put a link to the website on the screen, and I'll show you the package again. So that way. Yes, and on Instagram. I'm going to just keep it up on the screen for a second. And this was a brilliant freaking move, man. They come in all sorts of colors, and it became addictive to like play with it because it's silicone.
Oh, I know. I was stuck playing with it too after I was done using it. But it was great. They gave them out for free.
Yes.
Right before they started the Cannabis Cup, they went around and everybody got a packet too. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, and I still have mine. I couldn't let go of it. I was like, mine, my precious. I love it. It was so great. And it was the kind of thing where, like, the fact that I was able to do that on my birthday. So thank you, Jess. I wouldn't have been able to go up there on, by myself and all that stuff. Because in some cases, it's easier to do something for the first time when you get to have somebody already there or somebody safe that just so you guys can see. I put the event link also in the chat section. I'm going to be up on the screen so you can see it, but that was to the 23rd annual Harvest Fest, whatever else. And I posted a bunch of pictures that we had taken there. There's a picture of me and Jess in there too, so you'll be able to see that. So that'll be in the comment section. So definitely check that out. And it's a really great cause, I think. Did I interrupt you?
Oh
I got
my God,
excited.
not at all. Unfortunately, because I'm not sure exactly why, but Rob Robinson and the owner of the farm, George,
Yeah.
had some issues with the police.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we weren't sure if because they all came around and made sure that we had masks, and the sheriffs came through,
Scared the
and
fuck out of me when I pulled up and there was 2 sheriffs there. I'm like,
yeah, right. Well, it's
lots of
private
so scared.
property, so I don't know what was up, but
that was really just to cover their own butts to make sure that the county was there and showed, and then they left because I pulled up and they're like had just gotten there, like the dust was still kind of settling again on my day that I was there, and then we were only there for like 2 hours, and then they were already dipping, like they didn't want to stay. They're like, it's getting dark, we're getting the fuck out of here.
Yeah, it gets cold there, man. But yeah, it looks like those guys got arrested nonetheless.
Did they really?
Yeah, I mean,
The owners? The
I
farm
think
owners?
I believe they get arrested every year.
Probably. It was also a protest
Mhm.
to like leave
Right,
cannabis the fuck
right.
alone.
But they did have speakers. It was
Mhm.
completely legal in that sense. It was a what would you call they call it the Freedom Rally, but there was just
It was an
people
outdoor
speaking.
festival. It was an outdoor, convention for
Yep, and
cannabis and legalization.
everybody paid to camp there, so
Mhm.
it was, like a big camp party.
It literally was like what every hippie wants a commune to be. I walked up and I'm like, not
It
only
was excellent.
I want this whole place to be like part of Yield too somehow.
Yeah. I mean, it was really nice. Everybody's so easygoing. Nobody's there to judge you. You really walk around in whatever you want.
Mhm.
There were some people, because it's a freedom rally, we're walking around with no clothes on.
Oh, I missed
But
that. Thank God, because I
uh,
don't do that well. It's funny because I'm no prude, but at the same point, I'm like, that's your body, not mine.
I know. But hey, listen, they were very open about their beliefs.
Dude, that cannabis cup was so amazing. It makes me want us to like figure out how to go to every other possible weed cup, cannabis cup there is in this world.
Yeah,
Like,
right? Just look
I
him
just
up.
I want us to go to all of them, and I just want to see if I can like,
You
because
compare them.
right. Well, more
Yeah.
than anything else, like the fact I was able to do all 21 strains, and no matter what was handed to me, no matter what strain it was, I just kept saying yes. Because at one point, you know, whatever type it was so many going back and forth that it was just like, so it wasn't just 21 joints I smoked.
No,
I
it
don't know what it
wasn't.
was.
Right.
But I was still basically like straight. It's another one of those where like I almost want to do one of those like smoking competitions with others to see how many I could do. Like almost like, instead
You'll
of
have
like,
to go on one of those smoking cook shows because
oh,
it
that'd be
seems like
good.
everybody is just twisted after they're done eating all that stuff. It's on
Right.
TV. I
Oh
forget what
yeah,
it's
I've
called.
watched some of those like
Yeah.
I don't know. That makes me need to smoke a ball. By the way, guys, I am a medical marijuana card carrying patient, legal. So what you see in my Jack bowl is legal from one of my dispensaries here on Long Island. I still like Curaleaf best, I think, even though they keep getting into problems. But I'm telling you that it was so cool for my birthday. That was so much fun.
You were so freaking happy too. You weren't letting anything
It's
bother you.
yeah, I was
Like,
off duty.
well, that's kind of the thing. Like, I'm so used to you on set, so you're like, you got to be like together and this, listen, and this has
Yeah.
got to get done. You were just like, I don't remember. Oh, it was like almost 4 years ago when I actually hung out with you at the cons,
Oh yeah, it's true.
like off work.
Yeah, like the first time we played Cards Against Humanity with the wine
Yeah,
bottle and stuff. Yep.
yeah.
Well, especially back then, I was dealing with getting out of all the like not agoraphobia issues. I was, but more like I had so much issues with my PTSD that like dealing with crowds and cons and cosplayers who think like they should just be allowed to grab your throat because that's the character they're playing without warning me. Like the first few years, I had to keep telling myself, you're not allowed to kill people. They don't realize what they're doing. And like
some people, what do you call it? You call the method actors, the people that get really into their role. They'll like live it.
Yeah, they do. But like some people, they go to scary places with it, and it's because their mind is already kind of unhealthy. So like now they have an excuse for it, and that's where it gets like problematic. Like the Houses of October, those were that like it's a good one, and that's one is I like it because I know so many haunts and so many haunt workers that this movie is a group of people documenting, you know, wanting to see extreme haunts. So you get to see them walk through actual haunts that, I've been like, oh, I know those people kind of thing. But at the same point, then it turns into like a horror movie where, you know, some of the extremes, because people don't realize a lot of these, they don't background check. But it's also the same thing as the ice cream truck guy. Nobody really understands that the ice cream truck guy is not background checked. Nobody keeps an eye on who's running your ice cream truck. And it's usually run by like DMV. Like your hot dog trucks are through DMV and like that's it. So like your ice cream trucks, one of the serial killers used an ice cream truck. Okay, like so the fact that people don't think about the type of people that are not being background checked and still dealing with children is scary.
I'd never even thought of that. I wouldn't have thought that. Ice cream truck guys. Holy shit.
Yeah,
that's got to be your next movie. You got to write a script on that shit.
I might have to wait a few years to make sure one or two is gone before he thinks it's about him.
Oh shit.
Here's one of the things. I wasn't brought up because it has nothing to do with my parents. It's almost like I sorted out. I was always seeking the darker crowds, the oh, you cleaned brain matter out of the ceiling. Oh, you put it there. Oh, you're the one who killed him, and you clean it up. How do you get that? So because I was always fascinated by what I call the darker worlds of our society, I am well aware of so many things that most people aren't. Plus, I worked as a background check person just to see how easy it is, and it's scary, and how many things aren't checked at all. So there's a lot of categories where I'm like, that's a bad thing, or like neighborhoods where I just have to introduce myself to the ice cream truck guy and be like, I'm going to be here every time you're on shift, bro. Like, because there's people who have changed their names because they've gotten in so much trouble as pedophiles. Now they're running ice cream trucks.
Damn.
Nobody cares.
And I can't even get my maiden name back from the DMV because on my divorce papers, the judge doesn't have written permission for me to have the name Pallitto. And these people are getting away with all this other shit, and I can't even get
Well, that's because in a lot of cases, most of the stuff, especially, you also got to understand, like, I might not know how to do a lot of that stuff. I won't claim I do, but things back in the day, so to speak, were so much easier. There were so many easier ways of like going around. Like think about back in the day when like youngsters would be able to get into bars because of like fake IDs. Right. Now, the level of scans and checks, because all our generations are now running businesses going, I remembered how I did it, so we're going to take extra steps. So, right. That's kind of one of the reasons where it's not the same thing necessarily in the same way as ease anymore, but there's a lot of cases where it's like, nobody checks these people, right? Nobody keeps an eye. It's all cash.
Yeah, I don't know. I have like this blinder on. I don't want. So I went to school for forensic psychology, but I bake cakes now. So when I was doing field work and getting into like the heart of what's really fucking out there, I was like, the world that I believe I live in is so different, and I don't want to know any further. The studying I did in college, it's study.
That's nothing in comparison to actually being right, smelling it.
That's it. So I had to do some field work for some credits.
Yep.
For my last degree, and going on the scene,
Yeah.
smelling what stale blood smells like, and a
Rusty
rotting
pennies.
body.
Rusty pennies.
Man, I was like, this isn't the world I want to know.
Oh, baby, not for you, for sure. And they probably gave you a mild case at first. You got open intestines in summer, man. That's a bad one for like when they've been blocked in for a few days and like.
Yeah, well, yeah, the one that we went to, there was something called it's called slippage. It's when there's fluid builds like when you're decomposing, builds between
the layers.
Tissues. Yeah. And the person that was taking away the bodies, or one of them, knew what they were doing, but the other person didn't. And I literally saw the slippage happen.
Yeah.
So it was very uncomfortable.
Oh, I'm sure. Sound.
Oh,
the sound.
So I don't remember the sound.
Oh, yeah,
oh my God, there was probably just so much overload. So anyway, I went in the completely opposite direction and went to making birthday cakes. Like, nothing can go wrong with birthday cakes. Like, I just went from this like gruesome, super interesting and unbelievably like intriguing study to being like, you know, an ice cream man, but not like that.
It's funny that because I went to school for the same stuff. I mean, I was doing it so I could see all sides of a situation.
Yeah, and it's really interesting. And there's nothing more fascinating than understanding the human brain. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a meteorologist because I really liked things that scared me.
Yeah.
And I thought there's nothing scarier than the weather because it's so unpredictable.
Yeah.
And then as I got older, I realized, wow, humans are more unpredictable than the fucking weather.
Oh, yeah.
So then I wanted to go in and explore humans and their mind. And
I went into it in the first place because I wanted to understand me and what was up with my own like issues and urges and like
well, that's
why
the part.
You know, I was like, why do I want to be friends with a dude who has brain matter on his shoes and said he had a long day? And why do I want to come back to hear the story about how that dude got brain matter out of stucco in the motel ceiling? I'm 11.
Do you know how? Wait, how did they? Did he ever tell you?
Yes, I'm not allowed. I'll get in so much trouble. There's lots of rules. Yeah, that's why those on TV shows, they don't talk about a lot of stuff. But I will say...
they can't even talk about the cleanup, huh?
Well, there's purple stuff. Purple stuff is hard to get your hands on unless you know. But maybe not anymore.
Oh, well, I was thinking, do they use like a certain tool to like look it out?
It's depending. Honestly, with popcorn sealing, you just scrape that whole thing down and then you got to redo it.
Yep, that's it.
Or two things. That or like you spray it down with like white vinegar, dry it all because it's stuck in, and then you repaint it so it just looks like more popcorn ceiling. And by the time you're gone and it falls down, people just think it's asbestos.
Popcorn ceiling on the ground. That's actually brain matter painted.
Mm-hmm.
Painted over.
Well, one time I went in, because I was living in a motel for a while because it was across the street from where my nana's nursing home was, and she was like end of days, and I couldn't give a fuck. I was like, I'm going to be... You know, visiting hours was not applying to me. You should see how easy I can get in and out of hospitals, nursing homes. There is not a place I can't get in and out of. It just depends on the outfit and the attitude. Swear to fucking God. And a clipboard.
I believe it. I fucking believe it.
Me in like a little like female power suit with a fucking clipboard got into all sorts of places just because I was like, that's my person. I'm not going to get told no. Hi, how are you feeling? How did you get in here? I have a clipboard.
That's it.
Swear to God. See what I bought? I bought this just to make sure you were schmuck. Okay.
Right.
But at one point I had to change rooms because I looked up and I was like, no, I'm not staying in this room. Somebody didn't do a good enough job. But back in the day, motels were like real dirty. It was skeevy motherfucking shit. Like where like you could get a whole week for $35. You know, where now I stayed at that Comfort Inn. Dude, that place was gorgeous.
Was it? Awesome.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and but there aren't hotel rooms for like 20 miles from that farm. So it better be fucking nice.
and no service. We have to figure out how people
That was
take through
crazy.
service. That was terrifying. By the way, that 20 miles back to the hotel was on a road with no fucking service, with no houses, with no life of any kind. And all I kept thinking was, if a tire blows right now, I'm not only in yield, I'm just dead because it's 25 degrees out.
I didn't even think of that. But you saw how far we had to go out just to get service.
Yep, I left my phone on like the top of the car.
I was
like, come on, Betsy, I just need alerts to pop up. Like,
yeah, so it must have been. So when we were going to the farm, we noticed we lost service 18 minutes out, but it must have been longer because we traveled at least 30 minutes to get service at that McDonald's.
I'm telling you, but also because, like, you know, depending what roads you take, you know,
That's true, but we didn't even know what fucking road to take.
I'm telling you, how many times it was like, there's no map and it's still telling me to go straight. I'm like, please, God.
Yeah.
Lynn, we got to talk again.
I
know. I just had somebody ask what I'm smoking. Rosemary just asked what I'm smoking. It's called cannabis. It's, you know, back in the day, they called it reefer.
Reefer madness.
Yeah, sometimes people call it marijuana, but we don't do that anymore. It's a lovely, lovely strain called Purple.
You're still on Purple Punch?
I think so. Yeah, it's dense, dude. It's dense. It's nice stuff. Yes. And please get your cannabis card. Support. I can't help myself. Speaking about what it's called, sometimes people even have called it the devil's lettuce. Ooh. Bad type of segue, maybe right there.
That's a fantastic segue.
We are making a movie called The Devil's Lettuce. Yes, that's right. We have a beautiful trailer that's already up on the Devil's Lettuce page on Facebook. Please check that out. It's also on Instagram. Devil's Lettuce movie.
Yeah. My cousins are Gina and Nikki. They're sharing the shit out of it. So I'm really excited. Every time I like go on my scroll, it's like my cousins are sharing it.
Yes.
She's one of the she also, I don't know which credit she got, but she also donated to our I don't know if it was GoFundMe or the PayPal, but
cool.
Her name came up in the credits when you were doing the thank you.
Oh, good. Yes.
Yeah.
Yay, our thank you thing. Yeah. And one of the fundraisers we're doing right now is a pumpkin spice edible cake. And I was not prepared. I talked about it before I had the link ready. I'm such ashamed. No, just kidding. But it is actually a pretty cool thing. We're really excited about it. This awesome chick is doing some really cool stuff. But you know, I honestly think that the trailer it's only a short little look into what we've got going on and what we got coming up, because we're not done. We're going to be filming more in spring. There's nothing I am sharing with anyone yet. But we do have this awesome edibles fundraiser going on, so I'll put the link in the comment section and on the screen. Please check it out. She's doing pumpkin spice skull cakes that are cannabis infused, so please, 21 and over, unless a guardian says sure, because we have taking no responsibility for any of that shit. If you buy it, then it's on you. They are potent, they are delicious. I have tried her stuff. They are and quite frankly, we were honored that she wanted to work with us. So we're very honored and excited. And her company is in Massachusetts, Salem to be more precise, and High Horse Cannabis is what they're called. And it's female owned and run. So we're really excited about that. You know, I think we should always be supporting our females, because it doesn't happen enough. And speaking of supporting our females, Jess makes some epic fucking cakes too, guys. I know she was talking about it earlier, but I need to bring up face cake. Face cake! Yeah. Jess made one of the coolest freaking cakes I have ever seen for the movie Yield that I made. Shameless plug going on. Yes, that's right. And we're going to have that scrolling at the bottom because now you could watch it streaming. Oh,
hey.
Yes. Yes, yes. So that'll scroll on the bottom for a few minutes. But if you go to Yield the Horror Movie on Facebook or Instagram, you could see pictures and even videos of the face cake. Jess, why don't you tell us a little bit about like how that went and how you made that a little bit without giving secrets away? Because I love what you do.
Oh, there's no secrets. You could just YouTube the shit out of all that.
No, stop that. No, just kidding.
So I have a skull cake pan. And in order for it to look real, you got to put like a thin layer of chocolate down to make the skull actually look like a skull. And then you kind of like take the mandible off. So
the mandible?
Is that how you say it? Is
You're right.
I was just,
yep. I was just for our viewing audience, just in case they didn't know what that was. I always like to.
That is a jawbone.
Go ahead. Sorry, my
bad. So that's a jawbone, and so what you do is you separate the chocolate, put it aside, let it dry, make the cake, and the secret's really in like the colors and the dustings of the skin and the way you peel it. So once the skull is done, just douse it with a whole bunch of red food coloring. Make sure there's sugar on that because red food coloring gets really bitter.
Really?
And it was good though, yeah?
It was so good.
Good? Okay.
By the way, there was a clip in the end through the credits of me cutting into it. It felt like I was cutting into bone. Don't ask me how come I know what that feels like. But I was like, oh yeah.
So yeah, you make the cake, you place that chocolate piece on top of it, and then just start working around it. Gotta make it look like a decaying skull.
I wish we could have a contest of bakers versus like non-bakers because you made it sound stupid easy. And let me explain to you, my darling bitch. My darling bitch. This is why you're a crazy bitch just like me, because I'm listening to you going like this because there's no fucking way that would be easy for me. Because I'm not even going to try. Don't everybody ask because I'm not wasting time in my kitchen or ingredients. Because what mine would come out, did you ever see those pictures where it was like what it looked like on Pinterest versus what the...
I found somebody cheaper, and then it's like a bunch of Twinkies smashed together with some sprinkles on it. I know.
That's what it'd be like. You know, you'd make yours and like everybody see the movie prop, and like I'd make mine and it'd be like, and it'd be like, no, like
let's do it.
No. Hey, if you want me to do that in your kitchen, I'll come over and we can have cooking time.
I'm telling you, we got to do it once. So maybe the next few weeks we'll make an arrangement where I'll do something like a skull or something on camera during the show.
That would be cool. Oh, she said it on camera. We're doing it.
Yeah, because it just so like everybody knows, there's a lot of work that does go into it, and I do get a lot of people saying, you know, I charge too much or something like that, but they don't realize like it takes like 12 to 15 hours to make your cake.
At minimum. And that's because you go hard and go ham without taking breaks, bitch.
Yeah, but that's also because, you know, it takes time for things to set and cool, but I'm still doing work during that time on the details of your cake. So if all I did was mark up the price a little bit from the ingredients that I use, yeah, you probably wouldn't pay so much. But who wants to work for free? So I gotta give myself something, you know, for my hourly wages.
First of all, if anybody wants to pay a lower fee, they can do it for the damn selves.
Yeah, I mean,
you are worth your time and energy. So if somebody goes, "Oh, that's too damn expensive," bitch, get somebody else and then complain to them because you know they're gonna. They'll be like, "This is not the right shade of red," or "Oh, you
know.
Let's not play those games.
Or it just
you are worth your time and energy.
Yeah.
That cake was spot fucking on.
It was
Okay.
cool. It was a
To
cool
the point
cake.
where I got in trouble with Facebook the first time I posted the freaking picture because it got flagged as being actual physical human gore. That's why I had to change it to say movie prop and cake. That's how
That's pretty
realistic it
cool.
looked. And I
That was
literally
pretty
got
cool.
calls from people being like, dude, just between you and I, because I know who you are. Was that
Oh
really
my
somebody's
God, they would never.
swear to freaking like they really thought it was a human, regular human. And I was like, literally, do you really think I would put it? They're like, well, it's you. And I was like, no.
I mean,
That-
yeah, we know some of the people
I
that
mean,
are capable of that from the cons.
yes,
That's
but
how. That's actually why I know that the jawbone is called the lower mandible, because we had some people that were doing taxidermy,
uh-huh.
and they'll taxidermy the fuck anything.
Mhm.
You know, human skulls aren't very. They're not even legal to
I
have.
know because people
They
are
have
trying
to
to
be
sell
like
them
a
to
certain
me.
grade. They have to be like a teaching. Like it has to be like for teaching purposes. But
Yeah, you have to have a
I know
certain
plenty
religious
of
stuff
people
too.
that have several.
Yeah,
They have
I
like
keep
little
having
kids.
people try to make me buy them, and I'm like, I am not the stupid person you're
You
looking
could
for.
get in
This is
trouble
not
for
the
it.
idiot you're looking for. This is not the idiot you're looking for. Is
Yeah,
you
no.
I worked one paranormal con, and I'm not even going to say which one it is. And the person came up to me, and it was like almost like, you know, when they open the jacket, do you want to watch? They were like, do you want a human skull? And I just looked at them like, this is not the idiot you want.
Yeah, and why is it in a fucking box, dude? You just have it chilling out there? Yeah, I'm not gonna. So
Because who's really going to call it and be a narc about somebody having a skull? I don't want to find that problem because if you were able,
no,
because you got to know the right people to be either have it, get it, ship it. There's a
yeah,
thousand little details, and it's either that or like you're digging up your local graveyards and they're
yeah,
all missing a head. In
right.
any case, that's not the person I want to have a problem with. I don't have
I
the
know.
right kind of arsenal anymore.
Just be like, oh no, oh it looks great, but I'm just not the person.
No,
But
I
they're
really did. I
expensive as
really did. I was
hell.
like, I'm not the idiot you're looking for because I don't need your crime scene evidence. I mean, that's like when I used to tell people I was going to take their lower jaw and turn it into an ashtray and make money off of it. I wouldn't keep it. I'd sell the motherfucking things, but at the same point, they'd be like, Loren sold it to me, and nobody would not believe them.
Oh, come on. I don't believe it, even though
I
you're telling
wouldn't
me
because
straight up. You're like,
I
I'm
wouldn't.
telling you.
I would never do it because quite literally it would be like, duh, she did it. It's the same thing as somebody being like, you would set my house on fire. No. Are you serious? No. I am not going to be stupid enough to leave evidence or fuck up my own life because of you. There is not a person on this fucking planet that is
That's worth
important
that.
enough
Yeah.
to ruin my journey and have to go up there and go, oops, that's not going to work out well for me. I'm already forward thinking. Like,
Oh, speaking of things going really well
yeah,
or
yeah,
bad,
yeah,
um, uh, what the hell? The Puertorican Witch,
yeah.
um, helped me out significantly. So I would recommend you putting her link down there. She's awesome, by the way. Um, she did some self-healing candles for me. And
Yes, yes.
oh, what's going on in the background there?
I don't know. What is?
Lights.
Really?
Yeah, like dimming and then not like okay, well
That's
anyway.
because you brought her up. She's
I
in
know,
the
I
fucking room.
figured that. I was like, oh
Shit.
dang.
And
Once
because I
the
was looking
forces
for
combine, it's
because
like
I was looking for her link, I couldn't see the screen. So literally, you were the only person that saw it, and whoever else is watching until I watched later.
yeah.
So I was like, "Wait, what? I don't know what's going on."
So guys, check out the Puertorican Witch. She's freaking awesome. She did some healing candles for me. It wasn't very expensive at all. She actually did a lot of favors for me because I'm friends with Loren. Thank you, Loren.
You're welcome.
She was awesome. She did some self-healing candle trauma. It's trauma healing. Some things we don't realize that we went through that we're holding, things that we've gone through in our past have possibly just how do you say stayed with us, but without us realizing.
Yeah.
And it affects how we respond to people, how we operate every day.
Yeah.
And during this move, I've become more and more sensitive to what's dragging me down because I moved from a house in New Jersey all the way to Pennsylvania into a smaller place. So it was stressful. And a lot of things were kind of rearing its ugly head. And I called the Puerto Rican Witch. she talked to me for over an hour.
Wow, very nice.
Yeah, and
That's really good of her.
usually it's a half-hour session.
Yep.
And she lit these candles for me, and I will tell you, I felt the release in the fact that I had energy to consume other projects. I've been just so tired, and that's how you feel the difference. You don't just wake up and you're like, "Oh my God, my life is fantastic and different and better."
Well,
It's
you
subtle
can,
changes.
but yeah.
Well, I'm so sorry.
No,
I
no,
did
you're
it.
good. No, you
Yeah,
go ahead. You go
I
ahead.
didn't happen like that, and I didn't expect it to be that kind of drastic change.
Right, which
But
is fine.
the changes I did understand was the weight off my shoulders and the space in my chest was available.
Yes.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? If I could.
I wasn't trying to censor you at all. Not meant
No,
to
but you're right.
totally.
I have to
Only
understand that
because
this
I
was just
had that
my
with her.
experience.
I woke up and literally had that moment. That's the only reason. Because I've worked with the Puertorican Witch for a year or two now, and every once in a while, when I need help with something, I hire her, because that's the right thing to do. Is pay for services.
She also
And
offers free services, guys.
yeah.
So go on her website and she has a little section of free services.
She does, and they are amazing. I actually utilize that section more than I can't even finish the sentence. I could already feel her about to yell at me. Like I was going to say more than I really should, but there's this one in the free free services section. One of them is like the power of prayer, and anytime I've met somebody that I thought was a really good person that has had issues going on that they were undeserving of in a way, I use her free services to go like, hey, heads up, this person, and then let her handle it however her and the universe thinks. But so I use that section a lot. One of the great things, just so you know, that you can do as a way of thanking her, which I'm going to have to do, especially since she made your case a primary,
She right away too. She was
yeah.
like, "Let's talk today." I was like, "Whoa!" She's got like a 2-week waiting list.
Yeah, that's why, and it's because like I don't normally be like, I need you to help this person. Usually I just go, if you're ready, you should contact. But this one was like, anyway, what you can do is you can donate a candle. That way, somebody in need that can't afford it can.
Do you know she did that for me?
There you go.
She said, I received a donation. I'm going to do an extra candle for you." I ended up sending her separate money, like as a tip, and I
Aw.
couldn't afford it really because right now with whatever,
Yeah.
everybody goes through their shit. But
Yeah.
I needed her to know that I appreciated it in such a way, like I'm giving her my last dollars because I needed her to know, like, she's really helping my life. I mean, this is all we got, guys.
Yeah.
That what you see around you, what's in your head, that's all you got. This is your life.
That's
So
one of
if
the
you need
reasons I
help,
talk about her.
yeah, if you need help, ask for it. There's people willing and have the capabilities to do it to help you out.
Absolutely. And I mean, I'm a Reiki practitioner. I'm ordained. I have my own abilities. I do my own, spell work, all this stuff, and I still go to her because it's like a psychiatrist. They have to still go to a psychiatrist.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and most
Doctors
people
have
don't
their own
realize
doctors.
that.
Right.
Exactly. So, what most people don't realize is thinking, if I do all these things, then I should be the one fixing my own life. No, it doesn't really work that way because
You don't know what you don't know. Number
A,
one.
absolutely, you're right. And B, you can't learn what you need to learn if you could just solve it with your own spell work. That's why somebody like the Puertorican Witch can step in and go, I can do the left-handed magic for you because that's her job. It's like somebody who's, the Lune INNATE woman. I've been watching her again because, as you know, I partied great, but I messed my sciatica up. That's why I couldn't even hang out with people the last few days, and I'm still taking stuff from my back. But I know that all physical manifestation of illness is really spiritual messages through the physical body. So I knew it had to do with, security issues and all root chakra stuff. So the reason I'm saying that is when you need somebody to correct somebody who's wronged you, to help you, get rid of trauma, to do all this stuff. Puertorican Witch is amazing for all these amazing different genres of stuff. When you need to work on self-healing on the inside throughout, somebody like Lune INNATE, who, has all these videos that you listen to and does energy work, she's helped my back. I listened to her 3 times today, 3 different videos that have to do with root chakra. I was able to walk up the stairs and go use the bathroom. So, and that's why I say there are so many different kinds of magic. There are so many different types of people. We all have abilities and what we're supposed to do. And there's nothing wrong with me asking for somebody else's help, because I can't necessarily solve my own problems myself in all cases, except for making sure that, just like we're supposed to with our free will, I go, hey, I need your help. Like, with the Puertorican Witch, when I was having problems, she knew, she helped me. When you were having problems, she knew, she helped you. Now, you wouldn't go to her if you needed to, rent a house. You'd find a real estate agent. And we don't really think about it in the same level. And I think we need to start doing that. Your therapist, your spiritual worker, your doctor, respect all of them, because each person does something different. Like, you might not go to the Puertorican Witch just for Reiki, but when I first met her, the reason I even started working with her was I found the universe brought her to me literally through Instagram. I know that sounds fucked up and it's crazy, but crazy bitch talk show, so crazy moment.
No judgment here.
Right? I was really, really depressed, really, really upset. I was at a bad point. And I was scrolling through Instagram, really kind of just contemplating why I was existing. And her video popped up talking about, if you write your name, I think it was like something like, if you write your name in the comment section or private message her, she'll do an energy healing for free, just for this one day. She felt the universe told her to, kind of stuff, paraphrasing. And it was that kind of like, all right, I'm going to do it. The universe hit me with this thing. I'm going to do it. Put my name down. And all of a sudden she sent me a message or whatever saying the work was done. And that was the moment why I even interrupted you, because it was like, I started seeing better. It literally was gone. It was like, wait a minute. And I wrote her immediately, and I was like, wait a minute, I got to just fucking tell you, girl. Like, and we've been friends ever since. I go to her for all sorts of stuff.
So I felt the difference too, but she did say to me, she has a set of rules, because she's super friendly, but she's she's
smart.
But smart. You can't be like corresponding with her back and forth, because her time right. is worth something,
It's the same thing as going to an attorney. You're going to be clocked for your time.
Right. So I was sheepish about messaging her after I felt the difference, because I didn't want her to feel obligated to take her time away to respond to me.
Oh, yeah.
So I didn't tell her how great I felt. So maybe I'll just shoot her a message and let her know she doesn't have to respond, because now I feel kind of guilty.
That's
for
all right.
Telling her.
One, she knows already. She's magical.
She did. Yeah.
2, yes, do that anyway. 3, when you get a chance on your own page, put the link in and do a shout out to her.
I do not work on my page enough.
Or your personal one. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, but I have to talk to you about that.
I know. We have business to discuss over it. I'll help you with it. I've been thinking about it all day. Please, I'm a workhorse. By the way, I read it somewhere that me being a workhorse is actually like a trauma response, so that you can't just relax. Like, I keep like trying to do something. So anyway, it's not something as great as some people make it seem. So there's always another side to stuff. But and when you guys are at a place where you can afford to, just remember to donate a candle. And when I get paid my next check, I'm going to do the same thing. That way we could pay it forward to, because that's actually what she did for me at one point. Because after I had filmed Yield, I had thrown my back out. I had a problem with a bunch of other stuff. And then something happened with the finances where I was so overdrawn. I was like really having a problem. And somebody had magically donated a candle almost at the same time that I was like, listen, could we talk about, when I get paid again, figuring it, whatever.
Yeah.
Because me, I don't want to do anything for free. I want to make sure that, I show my respect however I can, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But it is that awesome thing where, being able to do that for another. And that's why I also have that fundraiser going on for the National Coalition for the Homeless. and I had posted that video as my birthday fundraiser on Facebook.
I'm the worst. I'm like the worst
Oh
social
no,
media person.
that's fine.
I'm on there for 5 seconds in the morning and then I'm done.
Yeah, but you're not like I run 5 different businesses. I mean, I have to be on the amount of time I'm on social media working on stuff is all day and all night because when I run 37 pages. Okay, quite frankly, between my companies and people asking me to work on theirs, and I'm fine with it because it's something I'm naturally doing. I've been working with this stuff since I was 12, I guess. It was just always something I was able to do, but you know, it really is one of those things where you just, I don't know, you just get overwhelmed.
What you're doing is you're working yourself because if you keep yourself distracted, you don't feel the pain or the discomfort
or the loneliness
or the loneliness. Yeah,
because it is hard for me to socialize. But like, that's why it was great the Hempfest thing we went to.
I think you went in there knowing nobody was judging you. The energy was so nice, you know, minus a few people.
I'm telling you, like, it was the weirdest thing. It was like God just held me the entire time. None of my anxieties kicked up. There was 2 fucking sheriffs. And I don't have a problem. I don't have a record. I have never had handcuffs on me that were from a cop that I wasn't dating. Moving on. Anyway, moving right along. Or once I anyway.
Fun. All right.
Moving right along. But I still have a bad panic reaction to a lot of it. Childhood issues, whatever issues, blah, blah, blah. So the fact that I was able to pull up, not know where you guys were, not be able to get in contact with anybody because there's no service up there.
I felt really guilty about that, by the way. What was I going to do? You saw.
Yeah, there was no way.
There was no way.
Did you notice I was so upset? I was.
No, you weren't at all. That's why I was like, I'm surprised she's not like a little upset.
Can we talk about the amount of the amount of stuff that went right for me? The drive up was beautiful. It was the most beautiful. Like literally, I was saying to myself that this is all I did for my birthday was do this drive with this scenery that was touching my heart this much because you know I'm not really a mushy person, but that kind of stuff gets me weirdly. Like I was almost sobbing with happiness looking at like the trees and the sky, and like the
mountains.
So I was like, if the only thing that happens is I do this drive and then get to the hotel room and drive back with this scenery, I had an amazing fucking birthday. So I already started out with that
too. Good deal. That was
awesome.
And
then like when I got there, I couldn't find you. They didn't know who I was talking about. And it was like, okay, normally that's enough for me to be like, I'm out. I'm finding my fucking hotel. But I didn't. There was no anxiety. I still was going.
Sleeping in the middle of a field.
Ladies and gentlemen,
found me.
That's why I'm saying sleeping. God was just like, I got you, girl. You're going to have an amazing fucking birthday because the 2 sheriffs didn't scare me off. I paid my money, walked in. What?
I owe you half the entry. For your birthday, I forgot that I promised you.
I bit the nail polish off. I'm trying not anybody to see it.
The only reason why I'm remembering is because this was where we were last time when I said it. I'll send you the money. I don't know how much they
dare. Shut up. Don't you fucking dare. Nothing. All right, moving right along. Anyway, jigs. So, guys, let me explain to you. If you haven't seen pictures, it's huge. There's tents, there's caravans, there's people everywhere. There's just miles of vendors up to a hill, and I'm trying to find this motherfucking bitch and her boyfriend Al in a sea of people with PTSD and social anxiety. 0. I got no problems. Literally nothing happened. I decided to wander around. I'm starting to wander. I'm like, this could get scary. You know, I can't just be like, look at a tent, just. So, like, I started going around. I literally walked the whole property. Now, that's a huge deal for someone like me that has such... Because everything is a security issue at this point. Mayday, mayday, mayday. But at that point, I was still fine because that's why I was saying it was the weirdest thing. So now there's a band playing, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to sit down and just enjoy. I've already paid the money. I'm just going to... Fuck it. I'm going to sit here until I can't take it anymore. I plop down, look adjacent, and there's a woman on her side, away from me, with these amazing black and gray dreads, with this cup that she had, same exact cup as in pictures on film set, wearing the same black jacket as on film set. And I'm looking at this bitch going, those are her glasses. That has to be her. But there's a woman sleeping next to her safely distance. There's a dog. This is not a kinky moment.
Yeah.
Public, fine. And I was like, I can't go over and be like, yes, and have it be some other woman that just, damn it, universe, that was a bad joke. So I'm just sitting there. Now I feel like a fucking stalker because it's got to be
You're really trying to figure it out.
And I'm cyclically trying to be like, Jess, like in my head trying to wake her up. The dog wakes up the other woman laying there. And I guess because I startled the dog, because he was like, but she woke up and all of a sudden, she makes eye contact because it's too many times that I've looked over being like, I know it has to be her. Has to be her. It's too many things. The glasses, the dreads, the jacket, the shoes, the water bottle. It's got to be her. So I get my big butt up because that's always difficult. I always think of like a rhino trying to stand up. Not attractive, self-defense. Yeah, I know, right? Bad.
No,
I know, it's so bad. And I go over and I'm like, is that Jess? And the woman has these reflective glasses, so all I could see is myself. And I'm like, oh. And she goes, yeah. I was like, oh my God. Think about that. There were thousands of people.
I know.
And I sat my ass down.
Right next to us.
Like 4 steps, there she is. Like,
I know.
And then 5-10 minutes after I've woken you up, literally, Al, the boyfriend, shows up, and I'm like, this is how I know God loves me, because quite frankly, this would have been a completely, imagine how many times I could have gone wrong in a million different ways.
You're lucky, you know why? Because several people over the course of the weekend came up to me calling me Vanessa because I had a doppelganger there.
See?
I didn't meet her. I didn't see her. I didn't meet her. But it was several times. And I was like, you know what? Listen, the fourth time somebody came up to me, talking to me as if we've been like talking all weekend. And then I had to interrupt them and say, I don't think I'm the person, after the fourth time.
This is not the droid you've been looking for.
Yeah, after the fourth time, I was like, oh, I'm not Vanessa. Like, I literally knew the person they thought they were talking to. But then they were saying, oh, I could see that you're not her now, but your soul is the same, and this and that. Like, I don't know. So I had somebody that was equally my, I don't know.
See, that's what I'm saying. It could have been. So that's why, like, the fact that it was you, like, the Nicki Minaj line, I don't normally quote the woman, but I'm not lucky, I'm blessed. Yes, like that. I don't care. You can mock me. That's literally what was running through my mind. But that was the lyric when I looked at you and it was you. I was like, I'm not lucky, I'm blessed. Yes, thank you, God.
This is the one thing I'm taking from this. So you have like a protective circle of spirits or angels or whatever you want to call them.
Some are angels, some are ascended masters, some are gods and goddesses, some are fae. They're all different genres, groups. Some are spirit animals.
So I know you get really scared because shit happens. Things do happen to people, and I know that you get really scared about that. But I feel like you're always going to be okay. Those entities, that circle, that bubble, the Puertorican Witch, by the way, said that instead of me just calling on all of them whenever I need them, just say like your safe word. So she's like, say bubble.
Yeah.
So I know that there's a bubble of protection around me. Those, like, when I say bubble, that's the signal for all of those.
Cool.
Right? So it's just easier. And
it's a command word. Yeah. Like if you were going into the military, that would be what you would, that kind of thing.
So I think that you are going to be okay. And like, you are going to try and find me in a sea of people where there was no fucking service for, at least half hour to an hour away from the property.
That was so scary.
And then you just, you do your little round and then you plop down next to me.
Yeah.
It's like kind of signal. It's sort of like, okay, I'm going to be okay. This is fine. I'm going to try it again. It was a little scary, but I made it out alive,
Yeah.
But it is a safe space too. You were at a hemp fest.
Yeah, seriously. And it's funny because like I grew up, like one of my friends growing up and then boyfriends, he was very much like somebody who would have just like lived at that fest forever if he could make it alive. Like, and
and
I've had a few of them like that. So like
but they
walking in,
weren't
it was
nice. They weren't
oh, they
good.
were. I mean, only to a certain point, but like that's all different stuff. Is like I'm rising in what I need to evolve in. If you can't also walk the journey with me, then I have to leave you where you are. Like
Gotcha. Okay.
I can't drag an anchor that doesn't want to work. You know.
Got it. Got it.
Um, but and that's each individual had their own whatever that also I attracted because of my own wounds. So you know,
Right.
it's
Right.
all learning experiences. But so when I first pulled up, it gave me flashbacks because I've also traveled and stayed in many different states in many different kinds of wealth categories, I guess you would say. So, like,
Sure. Sure.
literally where we were, I've lived like that when I was younger. So it wasn't, it wasn't something I did long, but it was something like, oh, I know how to act here. And I think that's one of the things the universe did is make me have to deal with like, one day I could have to be around like a trap house. The next day it'd be like a commune. The next day it'd be like, we're going to go see a senator and you better be wearing your nice shoes today.
Nice. See?
So like, but in
Be
every
prepared.
category, there's different levels of like whatever. But like walking into that, you're right. There wasn't a single moment of negative energy, even when my mind was like, this could have happened or this could happen, and because whatever is going on, whatever demon is there, whatever paranoid complex I have, whatever it is that needs healing, it causes me to have constant flashes in social settings where women can be harmed or whatever, wherever it's coming from, walking around and seeing those tents or those, whatever's my mind wanted to go to, like, that could be really scary for you. But instead, I was just like, and I'm learning and I'm experiencing, and it's my fucking birthday. I'm off duty.
I mean, you totally were. I think you were just the
I
happiest
even
I've seen
danced
you in a very.
around. I was like
You
fucking
were
dancing
really
around
great.
to the music, and I was like,
You were just so all smiles, and I feel like I'd never saw that. Well, I haven't seen that part of you in many years.
yeah, I don't know if it's been able to be around at all. Like, I loved all of that and all those people. They were wonderful. Like, everybody was just happy talking to me, and it wasn't like work
It
or
wasn't
effort. Like,
forced. Yeah, yeah. It
I
was
wasn't
genuine.
apologizing. It wasn't like, and even I did it once. I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." She's like, "Dude, it's all good." I was like, "I just want to hug everybody's head here." Like, yay! Like,
I know. There
um,
were people smiling at me, and I would look behind me,
I'm trying to
being
figure it
like, "Are they smiling at me?" And the lady's like, "No, yeah, I'm smiling at you."
out.
And then she would come over and talk to me, and and I feel sometimes when I'm put on the spot, like when I'm on this show, and you're like, "Shit, we got nothing to talk about," I get like really nervous because I'm like,
I do too.
I really
Every
like.
right before every show too.
Yeah, I know. And I have a thing with like not knowing what to say or fumbling my words or not saying the right verbiage. Is it verbiage or verbiage? I don't know. If anybody knows, put it on the
I
screen here.
honestly, here's my problem is I don't give a fuck. I think that when we judge that stuff, all you're doing is showing your own inferiority complex. See, I said that word wrong. Who gives a fuck? Like,
Is it? I don't know.
it's like potato, potato. Like, yes, it's like, okay, so my brother's in laws are basically wonderful people. Got no problems with them. But they're from the South, two different kinds of South. One is from Texas and the other one's from like Louisiana. And the reason I'm bringing it up is every certain holiday in the past, they used to have to make a certain kind of pie. One needed it to be called pecan. The
Oh,
other one
for
needed to be
God's
called.
pecan.
Mm-hmm. And I am not a personality that has great tolerance for people with frustration. So like they're like it's pecan, and it's not like there was this rant, but it was just one of those like, oh, who gives a flying shit?
I
And
mean, really, it's a nut, and we both say it
but
like
it's the
just
same thing
different.
when anybody picks on any word. My first initial reaction is like, if you need to pick on the way I said a word, that's where your IQ level is. You couldn't handle the concept. You want to try to nitpick to bring me down to your level. I'm going to let you stay down there while I continue my statement. So, but I've always been that bitchy kind of person because I feel like otherwise you get the bully nonsense where you and I are constantly apologizing to people. Oh, I'm so sorry. Why? I exist too. Why don't you
Well,
apologize?
I
Like,
think yeah, like we were talking about before. I really think that that's a woman thing.
could be.
Constantly apologizing, even for shit that's
She
not our
froze.
fault. Like Amy Schumer, she's a comedian, and she did
Yeah.
a skit. A woman who was saying sorry. She asked for a water, right? Like this was the skit. She
Yeah.
asked for a water, and the producer comes back with a Coke, and she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I wanted a water." She was apologizing. The guy made a mistake, and then he would come back with something else that wasn't water, and she would apologize again, and then he would come back with something that's not water again,
No.
and she were after all the and we really were sorry, as if we weren't clear enough that it was fucking water. Your brainless ass fucking just got whatever was closest to you,
Yeah.
and we're sitting there apologizing for your mistake. And I feel like we just do that as women all the time.
And
But
you're right. And it's just like how often they'll be like, I'll say something and nobody believes me. So what I do is I'll look to the dude next to me and I'll be like, you say it. They'll believe you. Go ahead. Now you say the same
isn't that
words.
shit? I've done that before.
I'll put them on the spot and be like,
Clearly you're
the
not getting
sky
it from
is
my
blue.
mouth.
The sky
Why
is
don't
blue.
you say it?
You
Yeah.
tell them the sky is blue. The sky is blue. Oh, really, motherfucker? Cool.
Listen,
All
okay,
right.
listen, I have to say I am guilty of that too. Sometimes certain people will tell me certain things and I won't believe them.
So that's
And
based on the individual.
it's mostly like my mom.
Well, yeah. That's
Okay,
why.
so my mom will tell me something and I
Yeah.
just won't hear it.
Yeah.
She doesn't speak my language, but then like somebody else will tell me, and it's not that I didn't believe her. It was like that other person that I ended up putting it together, what she said, and then what that other person
It's
said,
also
and then
the
it made
way
sense.
she tells you things. And depending on how many times
Well,
things in the past were said in a certain type of
that's
way,
absolutely correct. That's the way
it's
because
your mama, so I'm
it's
being very
loaded.
careful there.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
loaded history there.
Which is why. And there's been plenty of times where it's been inaccurate and you felt like you were led astray in a way where you would have done it differently. So because in a way our parents cause us to not really trust them, it's only when somebody else goes, yeah, the sky is also blue. It's not just her glasses today. You go,
Yeah,
oh fuck, okay, good, because I
shit.
can't just trust me anymore. She made me
Well,
believe. And
I
it's not
think
necessarily like, I'm not trying to shit on your mom, but like I know exactly what you're going through,
yeah. Well, the Puerto Rican Witch is the woman that had me understand that the reason why my mother and I have a friction or it's hard for us to communicate is she said that she doesn't speak the same love language as me.
Yep. Doesn't.
So
Which caused you
that
to apologize too much.
and doubt her,
Of course.
and it's a shame
For good reason.
because I went ahead. She'd be like, "Don't do that." And there's something in me that does it out of fucking spite, and it's so messed up. And it's not that I don't know if it's the control or what it is being,
Here's my thing with
being like
that.
this kid, but
As the mother, your child is going to have that personality. If you're still saying don't do that, then you're literally trying to make sure it's going to happen. If you, as the parent, don't take a different kind of way to handle and learn it.
they're putting it in the universe. Don't even say those words.
Yep, I
Just
said the same thing. I do
don't.
that stuff. I'll say like with my back, I'll say to people like, if it's really extreme where somebody actually notices or like I have to mention it for X, Y, or Z reasons. Literally after that, I don't want you to be checking on me. I don't want you to be like, how are you? How's your back? Because if my back's now fine, you reminded some part of me that, oh yeah.
It's not okay. And I was just
So,
feeling
so literally I'll be like, I wish I never told you. I wish you could just delete it. There's nothing else I can say. And I'm not trying to be a dick. It quite literally is I'm working on fixing my thinking so that I can fix my body. And
right.
if you're going to try to derail me, then I need to remove you. I don't care who you are. But that's also because, and at the same point, like, I think it's different for different people. A lot of people have a problem being alone, handling, being like, it might just be me and I'm the only person that thinks like this or is the only person living this way or whatever. For me, being such a sick kid so often growing up, there was tons of times where there was nothing else except having to be only by myself or being like, no, I know my body is saying no to that, even if all y'all is saying I'm wrong.
Right.
So for me, although I don't like it, I'm quite more capable than a lot of people to be like, no, I'm just done with you now. Some people say it's because I'm a narcissist. Other people go, well, you did a lot of stuff and
No, it's
because
we're filled up to fucking here and we don't need any more fucking spillage. We need to reset ourselves and get it back to normal. We don't need anybody else filling our cup.
It's true.
So
yes,
I just had a fantastic idea.
yeah.
Okay. So I'm not a member of TikTok, and the only reason why I'm not a member of TikTok is because of that whole shit with like China like invading our info,
There's
whatever.
so
Which
much
I
worse.
don't care.
There's so much worse than that.
Which I give no shits about because I got nothing to
There's so
hide.
much worse than that. There's so much worse than that going on with that one. Go ahead.
So I was thinking, let's get out of our comfort zone next week and do like some experiments to see if they work. That
What are you
like
talking about?
Okay, so
You're
like
scaring me because
no, not like crazy experiments. Be like,
I'm not starting an OnlyFans.
So
whatever
like,
the fuck.
No, oh my god, I'm
Just
gonna
messing
punch
with
you
you.
right through this screen.
Ooh.
No, I mean like life hacks that people do that like you don't know if it's true or not, but we can experiment to see if it works. I don't know. I'm trying to spice it up a bit for both of us because I think we both need some extra excitement that's mindless excitement in our life because I'm just talking and I feel like, you know what? I need to like laugh more. I need to like make my mind work. I need to be challenged a little bit more because right now I'm going through such shit and all I'm focusing on is like the shit. You know what I mean? And when there's shit, focusing on shit, it's just like your whole life is shit. So I wanted to make it lighter and I was thinking that it would be really funny if you did something. And I just watched a soda like explode in your face because
Oh no, that's not happening. But I love
okay.
you.
No? All right, then I'll do the soda exploding thing.
You can do all of them and I'll watch. Or we could start doing the Let's Party with Loren season 2.
Yes! I fucking love that show, dude. I had so much fun on it.
The only reason we stopped is because we finished season 1 and we took a break to start season 2. So you and I can do season 2 as cohorts.
I'm gonna be a cohort.
No. You can be a cohort. You'll be my cohort, bitch. And we could start that. So we'll do that Thursdays. Remember, it was going to be tits Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Okay.
So why don't we do that on Thursdays, and we'll have this be the crazy talk show, and we'll do that on Thursdays.
Okay.
And you and I,
like double dare, like
yeah,
be crazy, messy.
You guys could do that. I'll sit here and swivel in my chair.
You're gonna have to be really good commentary then.
I usually am, aren't I?
You're gonna have to learn some new like accent voices.
Well,
I don't know.
No, I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm gonna do some voice, and somebody's gonna be like, "That was mean," or "That was stereotypical."
You know what? I never think of that shit. I just don't.
I have to. I'm a lawyer's daughter.
You know
I'm a lawyer's daughter.
Oh, that's why. Because I'm thinking to myself, like, I don't get offended by that shit. I just don't. So I just assume like everybody else is cool. But
most of the world is not as cool as the crazy bitch.
You're right. Crew. We have people like that person.
Karens of the world. The Karens and the Felicias of the world are too perturbed. Bye, Felicia, because come see me. No. No, but we could do Let's Party because I'm starting it up anyway. I looked at you because I was like, I can't believe it's like you fucking psychically knew. I was gonna start saying we're gonna start season 2 of Let's Party with Loren, and I want you on it.
That'd be awesome.
So we could start that on Thursday.
All right, good.
Next Thursday.
Next Thursday. Okay, fine.
I'm still dealing with Thursday. Everybody wants to celebrate, so I'm supposed to have family.
Good.
Yay. So we have all the rest of this week into Monday. I have either family or whatever, different, because with all this stuff you can't have everybody together, so we couldn't just have the normal family party. So now each person has to have a separate. We stand outside. You know what I mean? But like,
let's go out to dinner, and there's only 4 allowed at the table.
That's what I'm saying. So I have to do something Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for each different family group which I don't mind, but at the same point, like,
no, it's taking a lot of time out of yourself, but it's your time. If it's your fucking birthday, man, like,
right?
I'll have 4 fucking days of people,
right? And I don't mean it like shit. Right, and I don't mean it like, but more like with the fibromyalgia and everything, it can get exhausting because also with the social issues that I have, although it never seems like it, I'm so overthinking all the time about this person's like this, so I gotta be careful what I'm talking about here. This person's like, so I gotta think about this.
That's true. Okay, what she's talking about, like, she would message me, and I would see her message, and then she would like blow a lot of kisses and then be like, is everything okay? And I'm not thinking, I have nothing, like, Loren's awesome, she's like one of my favorite people to talk to, and I sometimes I don't respond to the message, but I'll read it, and that's me. Just so you know, if you read a message, if you send a message, I'm like either giggling
Yeah.
when I read it, or I'm like, oh my God, that sucks. Right?
Yeah.
But I don't respond. And
I do the same thing.
It's not even like I'm not responding to you because I'm mad at you or like she's annoying. It's because, oh my God, I got that information and then some shit happens like in my peripheral vision, or I'm like exhausted and just pass out. So,
oh yeah.
So she's overthinking.
Yeah, I do.
That is overthinking. So like, yeah, you and me, we're so cool. I had to tell her, I was like, listen, if I don't respond, it's because I'm doing like the squirrel moment.
Also,
there's a squirrel.
We did that.
It has nothing to do with the fact that like you're like, but
it also is a few fold. So one, I realize that because I do that with people all the time. Like I just remembered in our listening to you that there's a ton of people that I never messaged back because they wrote me happy birthday, and they're like standard people since I was a small child, so I need to get back to them tomorrow.
You know what we do?
But
you put also, a blast out saying
no, I can't. I'm not allowed. Not certain people. You got family members.
Okay.
But what it also is one, knowing that we both do that, I check in that way. You could go, oh yeah, and then respond to whatever I was really looking forward to an answer from.
Right.
But also, you're absolutely right. I was saying to you, I think on Sunday, that I get really anxious if somebody doesn't respond. I think they're angry with me. That
me
comes
too,
from
but
abuse.
Me too, though.
That comes from, okay, one, I told you once, but I don't know if we actually got into it, but like when I was 12 or 13, my first boyfriend, he was like 20, 21. Now, I know that's a long jump or whatever, but when you're all in a street crew or whatever, ages don't really work that way. And it was nothing sexual, so whatever, he was totally respectful, that kind of stuff. But he went on a drug bender, kind of like the hemp festival kind of thing, and he disappeared for 2 weeks on me. 2 weeks? Yeah. So that's I went from
bender, girl.
I know. And that could be more than that because, like I said, not everybody I dated was great. But he went from an argument with me to walking off to disappearing for 2 weeks. So when he disappeared, I was calling morgues looking for, John Doe's. I was calling hospitals. I was calling prisons. I was trying to figure out where this dude was because, we were all in a trap house together for the most part. And like, for me, I always lived a double life. So like here I am basically in a trap house, and then like, oh shit, I got it. Trap house is like a really broken down, run down, like drug den full of people that don't have any real like rhyme or reason, no real laws, whatever. But you all kind of just take care of each other. So like, and I don't want anybody to misunderstand. Like I spent a lot of time at my mom's house and living like kind of like a normal life. I lived this duality constantly where, I had to do everything right in my mom's household because my dad was an attorney and everything had to look right on the books. And, but then when I wasn't dealing with this life, I was dealing with that life. So, that's how I knew pimps and prostitutes and drug dealers and gun members and, killers and all this other stuff was people walking through and whatever. So like when he just disappeared, it was like, did he overdose and die? Is he just somewhere? He is supposed to come back. He's our source of income. I'm 12 right now. What's going on? So that really did put such a significant damage in me that one of my first thoughts is, did somebody die? And I've lost people that way where they just disappeared. And then all of a sudden, someone's like, yo, because I have friends that are cops. So they'll be like, yo, I had to go to a body site and it was our homeboy. He, found the needle still in his arm. Or so like people don't realize the other side of what I live. So it seems like it's just super craziness. And at this point, it is, unfortunately, all that stuff is so far in the past. I don't hang out with those people anymore. I don't chill in those groups anymore. My heart, my stress levels, my life can't take it. I can't be proud of who I am and still be making the same kind of choices and dealing with same stress levels. I mean, I can't help the world that way, So, yay, I'm not dealing with that anymore. But at the same point, those patterns are so stuck, which is why I had said to you, like, if that was somebody I was dating and I was like, yo, did you get there safe? And I didn't hear from them for 3 days. I would be almost ripping the flesh off my body, like literally ripping down my face because I'm having a meltdown that I can't get a
Do
hold of the
you
person.
think
And
that has something to do with like some past life traumas as well? Because I feel like, yes, what you did go through at 12, which is a really impressionable age, I can imagine it being that way. But for you to still feel that, do you feel like there must be something further along,
I mean, it
further
could
back?
be. I mean, definitely. But I mean, I've had so much stuff because my dad was so abusive growing up too that like it's a combo effect. Plus everything I've seen. I mean, I've seen so many people, die, get killed, all sorts of stuff from such a small age that like, I've heard so many stories and all sorts of stuff. And my mom was a really great mom in a lot of ways. Like, I don't want anybody to ever think that she didn't do a good job because she tried fucking hard. I sought all these kinds of societies out. I wanted to live that because in a way, I was like, I'd rather die by any of these people's hands than by my father's. So it was already a sick mentality I had about how to handle stuff. But it got me to who I am today, which means anybody who talks any stories, I'm not going to judge them. I'm going to be like, yo, I lived it. I get you. I know what it's like to be homeless. I know what it's like to be like, hey, food pantry lady, thank you for this loaf of bread because it was like not happening this week, or,
Right.
I, worked 3 jobs and was going to college, and living out of my car. And it was like, I can't afford the yogurt parfait from McDonald's. That was $1.09 this week. So like, that's why I constantly do food drives and, do charities and, fundraisers for homeless shelters and all that stuff. But like, a lot of that stuff's so embedded that's why it's hard for me to want to date somebody. Because like I said to you, my first reaction, if I was dating the person and I didn't hear from them.
So cute. Oh, no, not that.
No, go
No.
ahead.
You were saying if you're interested in somebody before.
Oh, yeah.
And if they get the impression that you like them, you're like, they think I like them.
That's another one. That's another
That's
childhood
cute.
scar, actually, which is embarrassing but true. When I was in second grade, I had watched some movie where like you told your kid you liked, I don't even know what words, admirer, like with a little like, heart with the doily and all that stuff, and do you like me? And it was like a secret admirer. So I also was the kid that was weird. So I knew calligraphy as a small child. We're talking second grade. Here I am showing off how I write R's in
I
calligraphy.
think that's when we learned how to write. Like we learned how to write script.
I was already done.
You're like, I have calligraphy.
Yeah. See why kids didn't like me? Because I was already done with all that stuff. Because when you're hospitalized as a small kid, you don't have a lot of time. So here's my mom teaching me all sorts of extra stuff. Because I had asthma, so I was always hospitalized as a little kid for it. But by second grade, I was already working on calligraphy and stuff. So I had shown everybody how you make an R in calligraphy. And then Valentine's Day was coming up, so I was like, I'm going to do the secret admirer thing.
Oh my God, you're so
my
cute.
way of him, the way he'll know it's me is I'll put the admirer, the R, in a calligraphy R. Well, he gets this thing. And it's at the lunchroom table. He opens it up, and the girl who doesn't like me anymore goes, oh my God, it's Loren. Look at the R. Who the else would have done it? It's her. And everyone's like, ew, Loren likes you. And I was like, that's it. I'm dying. I'm going to, put an air bubble in my IV today.
Dude,
yeah,
I would have been
grade.
the same fucking way.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Yeah, so that was like, and I think that's where it is, because literally we were at the festival and I was like, oh, he's really cute. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, he might think I like him and might do that, ew, I'm going to throw up thing.
Girl.
I'll start talking to this really adorable gay couple because their hair is fierce and it color matches. Like, that's literally what happened. And then I lost track of him and drove home going, another opportunity I lost. That's literally true.
All right. We're
crazy,
getting
right?
together with the Puertorican Witch, and we're going to date this guy.
No.
Yes, I have to do it. Come on. We have to do it.
Oh, fuck no.
so
You
cute. Come on,
do
you deserve
what? I'm
love.
not.
You deserve a stable guy. He
And when the
seemed clean
universe
cut.
decides,
It did, and then you were like,
no, because if he really wanted to talk to me, he would have put the effort in. He would have came over and actually continued the conversation when he saw you hugging Al and whatever the fuck her face was, hugging the guy with the baby dog. Like, so if he was super interested, he could have at least tried. That's what my statement is. And yeah, I got to work on it, whatever my demented issues are. But at least I'm honest. I'm never going to act like I'm
Loren,
perfect.
we are getting you a boyfriend, a good one. We are. This is it. This is the mission. This is
I
the
don't want
fucking
it that
mission.
way.
You do.
No. Okay, first of all, did you ever see the meme that says you never start off a relationship with a kidnapping? You don't do love spells.
Oh, I'm not talking about love spells. I'm
What are
talking
you
about
talking about
talking
then?
it into existence.
Oh, I'm like, Jesus, we were not doing any of that shit.
But I figure a Puerto Rican witch um will be able to direct us in the right path.
When the universe wants him to appear, that's when he will appear. I don't fuck with magic over relationships. That's how you fuck your whole timeline up.
Loren.
What? I just have to start improving on that. He might think
Listen.
I like him, so he'll throw up.
Get
I
the
don't.
fuck, what does that even mean?
That's the truth. I'm always worried about that. And then somebody will hit on me, and I'll get so freaked out that I'll shut down and be like,
No.
I need an
All right.
adult, and
Then
go
you and
hide behind
I
somebody
have to go
because it's
out
gross to me.
together so I can stop you from being that. Yes.
Because A, if we go to a bar, that's not happening. I don't do bars anymore.
I don't
Two,
care.
I said A and then two. Let's just be clear. And two, when the universe decides it, like if that dude decides
Decided. It told me. It's decided now.
that's not happening. That's like when you wanted to give me like a 3-minute hug, and Kate was like, "Oh no!" You're probably like the only person that could, and I wouldn't be like karate chopping. What's going on? Because after a while, what do
You're
you
a
do?
good
Do you
sport
just
about
hang?
my hugs. You're a
Yeah.
good sport about my hugs.
No, you're fine. It's just like thinking about 3 minutes worth of hugging. I just can imagine like suddenly I just drop my arms down. Like I'll just wait. I don't.
I'll just
like,
sit here, hold my breath.
Like the dog in the baby basket, just staring. Like somebody call
Oh
an
my
adult.
god,
I
that
am in
dog.
the. That dog was so
It
fucking
was
cute.
so cute.
And you
So
know what?
cute.
I was so happy that dog was there because when my anxiety got a little out of control because you had to go clean up something, and I wasn't leaving I have to make it through the 21 of them.
I wanted you to, I was really hoping that you would stay there because, well, there was a part of me that really wanted you to come.
I know, that's why I was stuck, because I almost started walking with you.
Yeah, because I didn't want to be alone
I know.
with her. But
I know. And it's funny, I said to Al, I was like, I just don't want to miss
but
all
I
21.
also I felt this sense of urgency because like I had to get over there
Oh,
while
yeah.
she was walking over there because then my
Yeah.
stuff would have been missing.
That's not good. Yeah. But after you had left, there was a guy I made eye contact. See, this is what happens. I don't have like a usual, like a guy comes over and he's just like calmly talking and makes like a normal kind of like, hey, I'm interested. I also am
this.
on like, I have like Asperger's a little bit is what they've been saying.
No, you do.
So, well, because certain stuff I don't recognize. Like sometimes I don't recognize sarcasm. I don't recognize when somebody's hitting on me unless it's aggressive, and then I don't like it.
That's some
so like
blockage you put up yourself.
that's gotta be. But like so like, you know, I made eye contact with one dude only because he was walking by and I must have smiled or something. And then all of a sudden he was like too close behind me and like just there. And now I'm so uncomfortable that I literally was just petting the dog and waking the dog up. Like I wasn't aggressive. I was just like petting one paw. I was like, I'm so glad you're here. I never spoke to the dude carrying the small dog really, or made much eye contact. It was just like,
you're like, I see a dog on your chest.
That's it.
I'm going to use him.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
By the way, I always do that stuff. Like when we were like surrounded by people, all of a sudden I'm like, oh, a dog. And then another dog. It's because usually there's a dog. No, I wish it was more than that. No. Sometimes it's only because, oh, look, an animal. But other times it's like, oh, thank God, that person. I didn't know what else to do. Hello, let's distract and just.
Oh, see, you know what? And that's okay. Yeah. And I think I was picking up on that because you were saying, oh, look at the cute dog. Like,
Yeah. Too many times.
yeah, you know why? And well, there was a big crowd.
Yeah.
Not only was there a big crowd, but
Plus, depending what the
it
drugs
was
people are
easy.
on, it gets me
That's
scared
true.
because
But also, it also makes it lighter in the group of people that you're conversing with too.
yeah,
Because then you
yeah.
don't have to put the focus on them. You don't have to think about what to say.
Well, at one point you left, and I started like talking to a girl that kept standing behind me, which was great until she disappeared. And then, like, I'm gonna say creepy dude. I have nothing against the dude. It was just suddenly he
He
went
was just
from like
close.
across to like here, and he's not the person I would have liked to be speaking to me at all. So then all of a sudden it was just like, eh.
Yeah.
But like I literally kept like talking to a dude next to me, the girl behind me, the gay couple, back to Al, and it was like I'm getting dizzy because at that point I'm over 21 puffs at least. So it was like,
Yeah,
oh, I can't keep doing this,
definitely.
folks. I'm so sorry. And I lost track of basically everybody because I was like, I can't keep turning around. The
Now
world
that
has
I'm
just
thinking
told me
about it,
no.
man, like, uh, me and Al have to go with just us next year. Like, if you want to come a day, whatever.
Yeah.
But like, to have to be entertaining other people and then having the chance of a conflict because
See
they're
why
not
I
ha
said no to the RV thing? I was like, yeah, no, I'm not going to be joining anybody in that. Thanks, no. Especially anybody on anything. Now those personalities are completely different. Like I've had
yeah.
so many friends that do mushrooms. I have so many friends that do acid. I have so many friends that do like, you know, I don't know, C++, whatever the fuck it is. That's a computer program, but we know what I'm talking about. Triple C's, that's what it's called. I
What's
have
triple
no,
C's?
it's a type of pill thing and then you stay awake. I don't know. Everybody's got different stuff. I
Oh,
don't
okay.
care what people take, but I've noticed that depending on what people take, they have different reactions, different whatever. And sometimes it's
Yeah,
like,
well,
why are you
especially
touching me?
well,
So it
especially
goes
if you're
back to
on
that.
acid or mushrooms because that puts you more in tune with like the inner self.
Or ecstasy. If
So,
somebody is taking E, like that's a whole
yeah,
other
yeah.
gamut. Now I'm locked in an RV with them. Mm-mm.
Oh, no, that's true. Um, but once you start focusing on the inner self, it's hard to it's hard to engage outside. So, well, for me anyway. Um, so if I do any of those things, I'm only doing it to heal what's going on inside.
And I'm
I am
so
not
I'm
trying
so
to
about
like,
that.
oh, party. Oh, this is great. And yes, there are
That's good too.
perks. There are perks being at a festival and doing mushrooms and things like that. But the main reason why you do any of that shit is to fix what's going on in here.
Yeah, and I totally believe in it,
It's not,
honestly.
yeah, it's not about like, well, for me anyway, I'm sorry.
No,
For me, it's not about reaching out and having a great time. Sometimes I could be
there's
in that
nothing wrong with
mindset,
that.
but as I'm older,
Hmm.
I just want to fix what's going on inside. So
That's
that's
good.
usually
Yeah.
my goal if I explore outside of marijuana.
Also, seriously, there are scientific studies that have proven now that mushrooms fix Alzheimer's, it
Depression,
fixes depression, all sorts of stuff. So I am totally
also
for it.
ketamine.
True.
Ketamine.
I know.
Did you see the studies on
Oh
ketamine? You
yeah,
actually go
absolutely.
in to a doctor's office.
Mhm.
They put a mask on you, they put headphones on you, they shoot you with a certain milligram of ketamine, and 3 sessions, people are in remission
Yeah.
for
Oh.
depression.
Oh yeah. I mean, these things reprogram all sorts of stuff, but you know, people have so many stigmas about all of it, and I get it to a certain point because, like, I've never tried
I
any of
have a
those
yeah.
for
Well,
me. But for me, with the when I used to have, I'm going to say used to now, used to have epilepsy because I don't own any of it anymore. It's one of the ways I'm working at healing my body.
good.
When I used to have the fibromyalgia, when I used to have the PTSD, all those things are not conducive to those types of psychedelic drugs because, you know, to be working so much on the inside and not knowing that somebody's either touching me or I'm having a seizure and I can't stop or because
Well,
mine's a
this is
stress
the thing.
induced or whatever else, it never felt like a safe idea. So there's never been a surrounding that's
That's the
safe
thing.
enough. Hotels are not safe for me because I've
But
had past issues. So
you're allowed to do these things
mhm.
in the supervision of a doctor now.
Which is why it's brilliant. That's
That
why I'm
is
all
why.
for it.
Yep, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
So that's what I was trying. I'm sorry, I was going to interrupt you earlier
Go
in
ahead.
that saying that now that these things are dosed and observed by doctors, now you can feel safe in using them and they don't need the stigmatism. They don't need you to be judging anymore, because these things, they've been tested. They've been, the government knows what they do.
No, they don't.
MDMA, they were using them in couples therapy sessions.
Worked really well.
Ecstasy, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But while it was, dosed properly and under the supervision of a doctor,
Yeah.
and these couples were getting major breakthroughs.
Mm-hmm.
So
Absolutely.
it's important to expand the mind, and if we know the tools to use and we have the professionals behind it, then I don't see any problem
I
in
feel like I
doing
would totally go to one of those doctors if I had like if you were my
Colorado.
sober companion on that, where like you stayed in the office, there was no way. Okay. It would be like I would need you and Alan there so that nobody could force you guys out, and then I would know that nothing's happening while I'm under the influence. You know what I mean? Because I've also know how much happens while patients are asleep. I'm going to leave it there.
The power, the control and the power of somebody in authority. I understand. That's
And there's tons
fantastic.
of
And I wouldn't even think of that, but yes, I think that would be a fantastic idea. But if you wanted to get any of these therapies,
yeah,
it's now available
which is
in
beautiful.
Colorado.
I would totally go and try it.
You actually can, the ketamine treatments, you can
Yeah.
inquire about them anywhere now.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I really might actually try it.
There's a documentary on it on Netflix or Amazon Prime. I'll send you the link. You watch it. The guy does it. It's fantastic.
I have friends that have been doing this stuff for years. Like,
but they're not doing. I'm not.
No,
You
I
know what?
know.
I can't even say that. I don't know them.
Yeah, all I'm saying
But if
is
you're doing it,
it's not like I've seen like bad stuff about it. I have one friend that he does different hallucinogens for different stuff. Like he can see into different planes. He can see like
what is it? MDT. What the hell
I don't know.
is it
He does it on triple C's very often, which is one of those like
I don't know
pill
what triple
forms.
C's are.
Some people do. We'll leave it there.
DMT.
Yeah.
DMT. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
That's when you see God and other planes, and you go into different dimensions.
There's a bunch of studies on that, and there's some documentaries on that. Some of them are really fascinating. Some of them are really inaccurate. And it's another one of those things. Like I was so gung ho against cannabis for so long. Like I was always around it. Yeah. Here's how let me explain that one. It's not that I was against it. What I was against it for myself. I had asthma. I was told that I had all these like psychiatric issues, which turned out to not be true. It really was. I was just a psychic, and have all these abilities versus what, psychology wanted to say, whatever. And I had PTSD, so I was misdiagnosed. But with all of that, I really believed like I have enough. I kept telling people, I'm like, listen, I have enough problems. I don't want to do that. And it was because of all the misinformation I had been given and, whatever else. It wasn't until I was on my deathbed at 25 where my friend was like, they're literally giving you 6 months left. They're about to move you into a hospice. Like you're about to be dead and you're still going to say no. What's the worst that fucking happens?
It's true when you think about it.
And he literally, and I started having a seizure, and this fucking dude, Raph, he literally was just like blew it into my lungs. The seizure stopped almost immediately. The pain went away for the first time. None of the doctor prescribed medication did any of that ever. I was, having all sorts of problems because of the doctor prescribed.
Same with Alfred. He will not take anything that the doctor gives him.
Western medicine is sick.
He just swears on cannabis, and that's it. This kid doesn't even drink.
Neither do I anymore, really. What did you see me drink? When's the last time you saw me drink?
I think you had a mixed drink like 3 weeks ago, but it was one.
I don't even think it was that at then. I think I was more like, oh, I wish I had it, but I just ran out of it. Like it's been at least...
it was like you very rarely. You're like, this is my first drink.
Like honestly, like it used to be, it was every single day, and now like I don't even want it. Like it started hurting my body. Like I don't do it anymore. Like I don't want it, and I know it's more of an addiction thing because like if I was around people that were drinking very often, sorry, there was a fly. Very often I used to be like, I need to, yeah, I know, right? I need to have a drink with them, and now it's like I don't want that. Like even I was so happy there wasn't alcohol Remember I asked and then God said no. You guys were like, no, I don't think there's alcohol.
Yeah, no, you know what, Loren?
But that was a good thing.
You're so rare. I'm like,
But
I've
it's
known
all
you
or
for
nothing with
many,
me.
many, many years,
Yeah.
and I known you had to have drank twice, and it was just on that occasion. So if you had a drink at Cannabis Fest, I can't imagine it being terrible. But
oh yeah, no, it's not that I lose control. It's not. I've never had a problem. I've never even driven under influence. It's nothing. I don't in any way. It's literally I don't like how I feel. My body physically hurts, and my problem is I'm all or nothing. So if I started drinking, then I go to the bar and then I go to the
that's
liquor
me.
store. But it's not all or nothing where I'm sloshed and trashed. That's my problem. Also, is it's not. I'm never getting anywhere. I'm never drunk. I'm never like. It's not like I go from drinking to blackout or drinking to like party. There's not really a change. The same thing with cannabis. You saw how much I smoked and what I did. Did I really seem any different?
True. No. That's
I'm a
crazy.
rare breed. I'm a rare breed. That's one of the reasons I was always part of medical studies.
Wow, you and Al would get along really well if you guys
we
hung
always
out.
have.
Well, no, because he's the same fucking thing.
Edibles don't work on me. That's why when she was being, I understood her giving me the warning, but I could have ate that whole cupcake to my face.
Well, Al ate 2 of them, and he just stopped being high this afternoon. And he ate them on Sunday.
Wow. See, I didn't get anything out of it. I was fine through the whole thing. I was like ready to continue. And the only thing
so crazy.
And the only thing I had even said was my only hesitation. It wasn't like I was sleeping on property and it was dark, dark roads and I didn't know where I was going. So you know how sometimes it takes you a while to have effects, like it kicks in after.
Yes.
So here I was halfway through going, what happens in an hour and a half if this is so kicked in that I'm like throwing, because you hear horror stories from people,
Well, I mean,
all of a sudden I was like, you know what? Fuck it. And I just kept going and I was fine. I never had any of those effects. Never had the effects.
I ate 1/8 of that because I don't smoke very much.
Yeah.
I smoke a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
But I ate 1/8 of that and I was so high. I was like, listen, guys, I didn't smoke all day. I ate a piece of a brownie and I am flying higher than, and that's when she was like, you got to wait. That's why I chimed in with her. Saying, don't eat that whole thing. Because I ate 1/8 of that thing all day and I didn't smoke. But I also don't smoke very often. Yeah. So,
but also for me, I have control issues. I am a control freak. It's probably because, control was taken away from me so much. But like, I don't like the idea that all of a sudden I'm stuck in a kind of high that I can't get out of or whatever.
So many times so what you do is, you take some melatonin and you fucking sleep that shit off because there is no way in hell I am going to stand that uncomfortable. Like then I start reviewing my whole life and then I'm just like,
see, I'm like that all day and night anyway.
Yeah.
So imagine
when I
that
get too high, I'm like, I'm only a cake designer and I'm almost 40. Not that I'm highly educated. I'm just not using it. And I start reviewing my life and I'm like, what's going on? But yeah, you just gotta take some melatonin or take a handful of pistachios.
Take you gotta hope you have that on you. See all this stuff. I don't.
Let me tell you, always
that's
have
why
pistachios.
I stick with this.
If you can't sleep, get some pistachios in your cupboard. If you take a handful, I swear to God.
Bitch, I ate a fucking bag of them. Kiss my fucking ass. Not everybody.
All right, you try it again. Try it again.
I'll try
and you tell me you're not going to take a fucking nap.
Ladies and gentlemen, isn't she cute? This is why I go, I'll try it again. Because, I'm not going to burst her sweet little bubble. All right? Oh. I'm not going to be like, yeah, how many bags of pistachios I have eaten.
Oh, yeah, you have actually major sleeping issues. I forgot about that.
Oh, and when I went back to the hotel, I slept 8.5 hours. So the edibles do work. But it was also...
Wait a minute. What was the deep sleep?
It was like, I'm going to check it again, but it was like over an hour and a half. I'm telling you, I sleep so fucking good in hotels. If I could afford to live in a hotel, I would, because like I came home and I got about 45 minutes of sleep last night.
Dude.
Like it was awful. Like I literally took the watch off because I didn't want to find out what the numbers were going to be.
I'm just going to have to send you over some major brownies.
Yeah, right.
I'm just
But
gonna ship them to you. Those will
I'll
be your
save them for bedtime.
pistachios.
Yeah, right. I'll keep that for bedtime. And that's the other thing is like the girl who does the pumpkin
The pumpkin
cannabis
spice, yes.
spell. She had sent me a birthday present of a cake pop she made. I love cake pops, and it's so good. But I made sure I had it like at bedtime just in case, so that way if like the room is spinning, I'm just hold on. I
Yeah,
literally
right?
brought.
Put your
I
foot on
just
the ground.
you know what I did? I actually, just in case, I got a garbage bag and put it next to my bed, just in case, God forbid, because it's because I
You
heard
get skinny
stories.
like that?
No, but I've heard people talk about it
Oh,
that if
oh, oh,
it's
oh.
too, then it could be, and I was like, I don't want to try to climb 13 steps to concrete on the floor
Right.
to try to figure out what trash bags are if I'm
No.
that high. So like, and especially since certain stuff that I got to be careful with. So I was like, all right, I'll put, and then I was fine. I just slept. But I also was exhausted from all the walking we did and climbing that
Yeah.
mountain and
Yeah.
whatever,
Oh
because
my
my
God, that
body,
mountain.
seriously,
Shit
and
was high as hell. I can't believe you parked. That was the mountain. And then once that mountain was over, you had like 4 feet, and then you had another mountain to go up.
I literally pulled into that spot, looked at the security, and I was like, I'm not going any further, all right? And he was just like,
Oh my God, I should have. You know what? If I knew what time, we had whatever. If I knew what time, I would have had a go. I would have had a golf cart down there for you.
I know. It was so funny. I
Yeah,
was just like,
we really, I missed the ball on that. I should have. I I didn't know it was at a different farm. It was at the same farm, but at a different part of the farm
yeah, because it's
this year.
huge.
So I wasn't even able to tell you like where to meet me and at what time before I lost service. So
It all works.
I would have had to discuss all that with you on Thursday, Wednesday night. I would have
Yep.
had to discuss all that with
And
you.
there's no way you could have because you wouldn't have known the right answer to that. So.
Right, exactly. And by the way, they didn't put the right address on the fucking thing on the
I know because it told me I got there and I was like, I'm not here
Yeah,
yet.
well, we got there at 11 o'clock on Thursday night.
Yeah.
We had to knock on the farmer's door. Thank God they were up, still
Jesus.
clipping bud.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Yeah, it's one straight up, and you make a left, follow the lights." I'm like, "How is people gonna do this during the day when the
Let alone at
festival
night.
starts?"
And it
Yeah.
was another grace of God because I'm telling you, God wanted me to have a good birthday, and it's the first birthday I've ever had that was great with no problems
Oh,
whatsoever.
I'm glad that I was part of it then.
Seriously. And like, yeah, I've had good birthdays with my mom, but that's like a different, like, it's like when someone says, I love you, but I love my kids. Like, yes, we know you love your kids.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
going to
yeah. I
have a
got it.
great birthday
Yeah,
with my
yeah,
mom.
yeah, yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
but, because I literally was like, what do you mean I'm here? And, because now there's no service, there's no way to put
Yep.
anything back into a map and get
Yeah.
anywhere.
How'd you
And
get there
then
then?
God gave me a sign. It caused an animal to flow across my vision to land right near where the little sign it was at the bottom of the thing that said Harvest Fest this way. And I was like,
Motherfucker, thank
I swear.
God they
And
did it.
right? And I was like, okay. And I just kept fucking going. And then I saw a car and I was like, okay. Like, I
Thank
figured,
God.
and it was weird. I kept hearing, because one of the reasons I get, how like I always get worried and security issues and all this stuff. People don't understand that it's not that I'm scared for me. My scariest problem is if someone startles me, I might end them on accident. I'm not allowed to, no, I swear to God, I'm not allowed to walk through haunted houses anymore legally because I throw elbows. Like I asked one of the haunted houses a bunch of years ago, I was like, they're not allowed to touch you, right? And he's like, no, they're not allowed to touch you. All right, halfway through, all of a sudden a
They
guy
touch
grabs to my hair and it
grabs your
just,
fucking hair?
yeah, he was like, and what happens
Get
is
the
that
fuck out.
there's certain levels of like, if I get certain types of pain that's different than others, like I black and I just automatically. So he pulled, it actually hurt, and I went, bam, shattered his nose.
Yeah,
He
well,
went
fuck
down,
him. He should
yeah,
have fucking pulled your hair. That's bullshit.
exactly. So
You're
here I
not
am
allowed to.
getting escorted out by this big motherfucker who's trying to like, I'm like, you said no touching, you said no. Like I was like losing it because here I was
Right.
angry because I only went in because they had guaranteed me I wouldn't be able to harm anybody. So my major problem at all times is like, here's all these stupid people thinking I'm just going to startle her, scare her, come up behind, whatever. Just like
Yeah.
at cons, they'll like, ha, thinking it's going to be
Yeah.
cute to scare me, not realizing my first thing before I even look is bam, you're dead. Because if I shatter this into here, you're gone. So now I have to constantly work at keeping my arm from connecting with your face. That's a lot of energy. So that's where I got to go everywhere, keeping an eye on everything around me so I don't end your life because you were stupid to check on me.
Stupid ass.
I mean, fucking A.
Yeah.
But that's part of the problem. So, like, you know, that's why I don't walk through haunted houses anymore unless they shut it down or know, like, it's me and I wear a certain bracelet and they take certain precautions because I can't do the fog machines because of the asthma and I can't do the strobe lights because of the seizures anymore. And then with the PTSD, you jump in my face, I'm going to knock you out and be like, this is why I don't
That's
do
so
them.
fucking funny. You'd be like knocking all them shits. Like, sorry, the staff's knocked out.
And
We
because I
can't do
have,
another show.
right? And I have so many friends who work haunts that I know there's nothing acceptable about going into one if you have a tendency to do that. So, like, people think Halloween is my favorite time. I can't do haunts. You do jump scares. I'm used to when somebody jumps, they have a gun. I'm going to end you. Like, safety first. So, like,
Yeah.
for me, I am such a different personality than most. You could see why it's difficult for me to date because, like, if you don't understand all of this craziness, you're going to be like, I can't do with that. And I
It's
respect that,
fantastic
but
craziness, everybody. So if there's somebody out there that's interested in Loren, it is. Come on. You need a little spice in your life.
Oh God, no! I need
Yeah,
stability. I need stability. I need security, and I need
fine.
somebody to
You
grow
need
with.
stability, but there's a lot of people out there that need some fucking spice.
I certainly am not. I am spicy. I am definitely not everybody's cup of tea, but I am a
No,
certainly
stop
delicious brand of
doing that.
whiskey.
Just so you guys know, she's everybody's cup of tea. She's being hard on herself, and she deserves a beautiful boyfriend.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Even not beautiful. I might have a problem if he's prettier than I am.
Listen,
I am a vain
that's
bitch
fine.
too.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare. I got you this beautiful man, Loren. Oh, I can't. He's too pretty than me.
I did. I said no to somebody once because he was just too damn hot. He was all like physically fit, and I was almost 300 pounds, and
Yeah, well, guess
I was
what?
like, no.
Loren, there's
I know.
people out there that have preferences.
Well, now I'm all right with it. Now I'm more like it's not like that, but my self-esteem issues and the abuse level that had been going on, I'm also not going to say yes to somebody if I think that I might not be a good fit for them. Like if I have a lot of trigger issues.
You never know. There's so many things we have to compromise.
You're right. I'm working on it now. But
Yeah.
that's why I've been working on so much healing because I am not going to talk something I ain't walking. You know what I mean? That's why I watch all those videos.
That's very admirable. I like that.
You know, so who I was 3 years ago, you know, is a different person than I am now. Like 3 years ago, I would have never been able to go to Harvest Fest. That would just never have happened. Now I'm like, I would, and I smoked all of them. And
look, and you did it on your own, and you found me sleeping in the middle of a field.
I know, that was amazing. I still can't believe, I'm like, that's her. I can't believe out of thousands of people and 4 or 5 acres of property I could walk to look for. And like hidden tents everywhere. This bitch, I sat down right next to this bitch.
By the way, guys, I was sleeping because it's a 3-day festival and it's so fucking cold. So in the day when it's nice and warm, sometimes you just need to just lay in the sun, fall asleep, and absorb that warmth.
Yeah, and there was nothing wrong with it at all because there was other people that were doing it. And I mean, I sat down. I was just like, I should have brought a blanket. I didn't think it through. And I was content.
I just laid on the grass.
And I think that's one of the reasons the universe blessed me instead of me getting all stressed. And that's one of the things I've learned over the years. And I think it is the major key to everything. It's truly going with the flow of it. Like instead of me being like, oh my God, she didn't give me a time and a location. I went with the flow of it instead of like, oh my God, I can't find her.
Yep.
Because, and that's what I've been doing with everything lately is like, I now can see the ebb and flow of the river of my path so that when something's not working, I realize that's not the way I'm flowing. I'll just keep flowing with it instead of being like Mayday and trying to like almost swim upstream against something. So now it's different.
Or we can even go even better for Jess and be like, You're just around the right people.
I am. I was around you. That was that. Why? How many people do you think I would have shown up to somewhere upstate? Can we think this through?
Oh, I know. Yeah.
So it
Sorry.
was you, and my answer was totally and all good. I could see into the room, just so you know. I don't know if it matters.
Oh, look, Alfred.
All right, as long as he's not naked, we're fine. Otherwise, I'll do this.
No, so yeah, so I think that
no nipples.
if you're around the right people,
Mm-hmm.
you kind of just get to know. You know what I mean? Like there's no worries.
Yeah.
There's no
fence up
delays or detours or anything.
Mm-hmm.
It just happens.
Yeah.
You know? So I think that's really fun.
And it's true, because I wasn't thinking about apologizing to people or like how I was, or I was just comfortable. Like everybody was such good people, and like between you and Al, I totally felt fine. It didn't matter, you know. And that's part of it, is I can always tell when I'm not around good people when my first reaction is to worry about their reaction. It's like ding ding ding, I'm caring more about how you're reacting to me existing. That means something's wrong here.
Yes. Right.
And I'd rather be absolutely alone, which I never am, but I'd rather have that mindset over being more concerned about how they're going to react. The more often that I realize, like, oh, I'm always worried, then I'm going to be, what? Did something happen? Just freaked me out. What happened?
I think somebody knocked at my door.
Al, get the door.
Could have been my cat jumping. Oh, it was. Okay. My bad. It was my cat. Okay. It scared the shit out of me because every time I'm talking with you, some psychic or spiritual shit happens, and I'm like, motherfucker.
Did you see how big my eyes got? I'm like, it's happening again. I was like, I knew we just got to wait for it. We just got to get.
I have to say, like, I haven't been talking about it, but that whole issue that I had.
All good now. It's all good now. I told you, Puertorican Witch all the way, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I have, tons of like spiritual workers. But
I'm also not giving energy to it. I'm not talking about it. So.
And you're not going to do any of those connections anymore in any way, shape, or form, no matter.
However, there were some people that just moved in that have 2 beautiful children. Great chef. She might be over there. And
I hate when they go to children. That's like what happened to me as a kid.
And they're so cute. They're just running around the property, digging holes.
Are they blonde? Are they both little blonde kids?
You know what? It's been cold here, so they've had hoods on. But from what I understand from the landlords, they're really great people. They're minimalists, so they must have some spiritual.
Minimalist just means they have nothing.
They specialize in having, like, they specifically live their life.
Oh. Okay.
With the reason why I'm saying there must be more than them just being minimalist is because they must have done a lot of work on the inside. They must be protruding a lot of light.
Why?
Because you know what people when people, in my opinion, or from what I understand, when people like live in clutter and a lot of shit, it's because they had a lot of shit that's going on inside, and they need all this stuff to hug them.
But minimalist can actually be the complete opposite defense for the same reasoning.
That's true. I didn't think of it that way. The way that I perceived, they're like super into nature.
They could be good people. Not.
I just assume they have a lot more light than me.
Why?
Because it seems like they have their shit together more than I do. I know. I don't know them. I'm just assuming. So
I'm not allowed to say anything bad about myself, but you could do that shit.
I don't know. I'm not saying bad. I'm just being honest in what I think about myself.
They must be more lightful than me. Why? Because. Okay.
I'm saying.
Yeah,
there's also children there, so they're obviously still beacons of light.
Well, the children are, well, not necessarily, but yes, the children
That's
are.
true. You
Do I
never
have
know.
like one crazy eye that doesn't want to like go to center? Because that's what it seems like. Anyway,
Yeah,
um,
well, if I take my glasses off, I always think I have a lazy eye. I think this one's no, this
I
one's a
think my
lazy.
camera's at like an angle, so all of a sudden it's just like, anyway, some kids are just born a little sick, and then you have to hopefully catch them in time to recorrect them. Others are just
They're
stuck that way, I
really
think.
so I didn't
So,
go over to meet them
oh, I'm not trying to talk bad
the
about
day
them. I'm
that
just saying.
no, the day that they moved in, my landlord knocked on the door asking me to meet them, but I was in bed with Alfred and I wasn't getting up.
What?
He constantly anybody that moves in new, he comes to my door. And you know what? It actually takes the pressure off of me to go over there
It
and
is
you
kind
know.
of good in a
But
way
I
because
like
it's
to
kind
stay
of
to my
like,
fucking self, man. I don't need to know
yeah,
everybody that lives here.
yeah. He wouldn't do. I mean, okay, so a new thing some of my spiritual clients that I've been working with do is they go, "What would Loren do?" And
Oh shit, we're gonna make bracelets now.
okay, and for
Tell me
you,
a
like,
W.
think about it in this situation. If that landlord showed up, what would Loren do? If the landlord the very first time said, "I
You
knocked on your,"
probably would have been like, listen, I need my privacy. I like to be alone. Please give me 30 days notice before you need to knock on my door. No, I'm just kidding.
kind of close to it. I
No,
mean,
but
think about this. If
technically
it's
they're supposed to give me a week's notice before they need to come in my apartment. And this nigga comes in, like walks in. If he's like, oh, I'm switching the
yes,
gas over. I need to come in. Meanwhile, my apartment is like still trying to stuff an 850 square foot home into a 300 square foot home now.
okay, we need we need
I have no, and he'll just come in with like three workers and work on whatever needs to be worked on. And I'm fine. Like, I act like I'm fine with it, but like sometimes I don't have a bra on. Like, I don't know how to handle this because I've only owned homes in my past. Like, I've never rented. So I don't know what the protocol is. But I do know it makes me uncomfortable to have my landlord just knock on my door bright and early in the morning with me with no
mm-mm,
bra on and
mm-mm,
my house a
mm-mm,
mess.
mm-mm. First of all, the rules of my house, no matter where I fucking live, are you don't just fucking show up. You call and check if you're allowed to step foot on the property. If
So,
not, you are trespassing, and I got
so
full claim.
he's on the property constantly, him and his
That's
wife,
not that's
because they're redoing it's like brand spanking new. So shit's still being built. They are on this property 6 days a week. They take Sundays off and they might not take Sunday off. I just don't see their cars here on Sunday. So if somebody new moves in, I am for sure getting a knock on my door at 9:30 in the morning.
no, it happened once. If somebody thinks that they show up at
It's
my door at
happened
9:30 in the
twice,
morning, mm-mm.
and this
Hey,
is the
remember
third time.
before we went live, I said something about from this point forward, you're
Gotcha.
gonna, What would Loren do? Loren would be like, listen, I pay you for you to stay on your side of the door. Secondly, I pay you to give me notice when you're going to come onto my piece of the property.
I
So
mean,
you are not allowed to show up on my property from this forward unless I get a legal letter. And don't you ever show up on my property before 11 a.m. Otherwise, swear to God, you're not going to be happy. Capiche? Good. Close the door, lock
I
it, and then
actually
call out.
should. I should put like
I
a
don't
little
play.
sign that says, "Please do not disturb before 10
That
a.m."
won't
or
work.
something
That
like
won't work
that.
with him. He'll think it doesn't apply to him. He is already pushed into your household. Do you think anybody would step into my house?
My dad, in fact, said, "Listen, this guy's way too friendly. He's
Thank
got
you.
an agenda." I was like, "Dad."
You understand how quick a drive I could be up there. And by the way, Al needs to handle it. He needs to. He
Oh,
needs
he's
to
always
lay
in bed.
somebody.
He's always in bed sleeping by the
And
time this
what?
guy.
I'm gonna cock slap him and tell him to go to the door.
I was like, listen, go to the door and nothing but your underwear.
He won't
And
care. This
just
dude
let
doesn't
him.
care. If he wants to push into your property, child, he is no good.
It's-
9:30 in the morning. What would Loren do?
All right.
My
Seriously.
mama can't talk to me until I have 2 cups of coffee because
I
it's
remember
too
you
much of
saying
a.
that. I remember you saying
Because, well, first of all, it's not necessarily in the first case anything having to do with nastiness or aggression. It has to do with all of this doesn't function well. So to even try to have a conversation fucking hurts. Like the first hour or so, I can't even have any lights on. It takes so long for like everything to kind of start functioning.
Is that the fibromyalgia that hurt your eye?
Yeah, it's just because all the nerve endings in the central nervous system and everything, it takes a while. Like my hands are all numb, my feet are always numb. It takes a while for my brain to start up. It hurt, brain fog, blah, blah, blah. So it takes me a while. But also, because all of that takes a while, my already low tolerance and low patience level for things is almost non-existent. So super sassy Loren should not be coming out to people unless like you stepped on my property without permission. Not like, hey, I didn't have my second cup of coffee yet. Nice Loren who's had coffee knows better than to say, I don't give a fuck what you're doing today. Leave me the fuck alone. Super sassy who's still angry and can't get words together is more angry like, I had to pee and I was yelling at my feet. Can you just be feet today? Like, you know what I mean? And we know I do that stuff. I'm like, you're a pen. Just be a pen. You're a car. Just be a car. You're my feet. Just function. So
That's the least I can ask from you.
Right? I just want to be able to climb these steps and go pee. Like, that's it. So she really accommodates by just leaving me the fuck alone through those first 2 pots of coffee or whatever it winds up being. But it's really because of all that extra stuff, and it's just better for everybody. Just leave me the fuck alone. Let me get to a point where I come to you and I'm like, hey, good morning. Or I'll text.
Yeah.
I text my mom good morning, or she'll text me good morning, because that's a good way, because I'm able to do that. Making words is much more difficult with all my issues versus being able to just type them out or have it suggested, be like, that's how you spell that. That's how you spell, because a lot of that could take a while with the memory recall and all the connective issues. So,
excuse me. My boobs.
Hello. So, it's all that kind of stuff. But, I think we should probably wrap it up here because you and I could talk forever. But
we're doing a lot of personal stuff right now.
Hey, it's all good. But next Thursday, you and I can be co-hosts of season 2 of Let's Party with Loren.
I can't wait. We're going to do like a baking section. So we have to do it.
Hey, all on you. I'll watch. All right, folks. Okay, guys. Until next Thursday. See you next Thursday. And enjoy your Tits Tuesday. Bye.